Let's get ready for the Virginia real estate exam with 100 questions covering state-specific laws, principles, and practices you'll need to know. And don't miss what's happening in the bottom corner. It could be key to your exam prep. We'll tell you how in a minute. Now let's get started.
Let's begin with a review of Virginia real estate laws and regulations. Starting with overview of Virginia real estate statutes. Under Virginia law, what must a real estate licensee do when representing both buyer and seller in a transaction? Is it A, refuse to represent both parties, B, negotiate a higher commission, C, provide a verbal disclosure of dual agency, or D, disclose dual agency and obtain written consent? The answer is D, disclose dual agency and obtain written consent. Licensees must disclose dual agency and obtain written consent from both parties. This ensures transparency and protects the interests of all parties involved in the transaction. What is the consequence of a real estate licensee violating the Virginia Fair Housing Act? Is it A, mandatory community service, B, a warning letter from the real estate board, C, fines and possible license suspension, or D, a reduction in commission rates? The answer is C, fines and possible license suspension. Violations can lead to disciplinary actions, including fines, license suspension, or revocation. The Act protects against discrimination in real estate transactions, ensuring fairness and equal opportunity.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
Under Virginia real estate law, who is responsible for ensuring that all parties comply with the terms of a real estate contract? Is it A, the buyer, B, the real estate broker, C, the seller, or D, the title company? The answer is B, the real estate broker. The real estate broker is responsible for overseeing the compliance with contractual terms, ensuring that all parties fulfill their obligations as outlined in the agreement. Under Virginia law, what is a seller required to provide to a buyer before closing? Is it A, a copy of the property's previous appraisal, B, a list of all previous owners, C, a guarantee of property value increase, or D, a property disclosure statement? The answer is D, a property disclosure statement. Sellers must provide a property disclosure statement detailing known issues or defects to inform buyers and prevent future disputes or claims. What action can the Virginia Real Estate Board take if a licensee violates real estate regulations? Is it A, imprison the licensee, B, suspend or revoke the license, C, increase the licensee's commission rate, or D, require additional client meetings? The answer is B, suspend or revoke the license. The board can impose disciplinary actions, including fines, suspension, or revocation of a license, to maintain industry standards and protect public interest. Virginia Fair Housing Laws. Under Virginia Fair Housing Laws, which of the following is considered a protected class? Is it A, pet ownership, B, occupation, C, gender identity, or D, marital status? The answer is C, gender identity. Virginia Fair Housing Laws protect classes such as race, color, religion, national origin, sex, disability, and familial status. Additionally, Virginia includes elderliness, sexual orientation, gender identity, and veteran status as protected classes. What is the primary purpose of the Virginia Fair Housing Board? Is it A, to set property tax rates, B, to approve real estate licenses, C, to manage public housing projects, or D, to enforce fair housing laws? The answer is D, to enforce fair housing laws. The Virginia Fair Housing Board enforces the Virginia Fair Housing Law, investigates complaints of discrimination, and educates the public about fair housing rights and responsibilities. Which action is considered discriminatory under Virginia fair housing laws? Is it A, requiring a security deposit, B, refusing to rent to a family with children, C, conducting background checks, or D, offering discounts to long-term tenants? The answer is B, refusing to rent to a family with children. Refusing to rent to a family with children is discriminatory under Virginia fair housing laws, which protect familial status, including families with children under 18. How long does a person have to file a housing discrimination complaint under Virginia fair housing laws? Is it A, 1 year, B, 6 months, C, 2 years, or D, 3 years? The answer is A, 1 year. Complaints of housing discrimination under Virginia fair housing laws must be filed within 1 year of the alleged discriminatory act.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Virginia contract requirements. What is the minimum legal requirement for a real estate contract to be enforceable in Virginia? Is it A, it must be verbal, B, it must be in writing, C, it must be notarized, or D, it must be witnessed? The answer is B, it must be in writing. In Virginia, a real estate contract must be in writing to be enforceable according to the Statute of Frauds. This requirement helps prevent fraudulent claims and ensures clarity in the terms agreed upon. Which party is responsible for ensuring the accuracy of the property description in a Virginia real estate contract? Is it A, the buyer, B, the real estate agent, C, the seller, or D, the title company? The answer is C, the seller. In Virginia, the seller is responsible for providing an accurate property description. This ensures that the buyer is fully informed about the property being purchased and helps prevent disputes. Under Virginia law, what must be included in a contract for the sale of real estate? Is it A, legal description, purchase price, and signatures, B, purchase price and verbal agreement, C, legal description and verbal agreement, or D, signatures only? The answer is A, legal description, purchase price, and signatures. A contract for the sale of real estate in Virginia must include a legal description of the property, purchase price, and the signatures of both parties to be considered valid and enforceable. What is the consequence if a real estate contract in Virginia lacks a clear closing date? Is it A, the contract is automatically void, B, the buyer sets the closing date, C, the seller sets the closing date, or D, the contract may be considered unenforceable? The answer is D, the contract may be considered unenforceable. Without a clear closing date, the contract may be considered vague and unenforceable, leading to potential disputes between the buyer and seller. It is crucial to specify the closing date to ensure both parties are aligned. In Virginia, which element is not essential for a valid real estate contract? Is it A, offer and acceptance, B, notary seal, C, consideration, or D, written agreement? The answer is B, notary seal. A notary seal is not essential for the validity of a real estate contract in Virginia. Essential elements include offer, acceptance, consideration, and written agreement, as required by the Statute of Frauds. Let's continue with Virginia licensing requirements and procedures. Virginia licensing requirements and procedures. What is the minimum age requirement to apply for a real estate salesperson license in Virginia? Is it A, 18 years old, B, 19 years old, C, 20 years old, or D, 21 years old? The answer is A, 18 years old. In Virginia, applicants for a real estate salesperson license must be at least 18 years old. This age requirement ensures that applicants have the legal capacity to enter into contracts. Which of the following is a requirement for a real estate salesperson to maintain an active license in Virginia? Is it A, submit a new application annually, B, complete 16 hours of continuing education biennially, C, pass a renewal examination, or D, attend a mandatory annual conference? The answer is B, complete 16 hours of continuing education biennially. In Virginia, real estate salespersons must complete 16 hours of continuing education every 2 years to maintain an active license. This ensures they stay updated on real estate laws and practices. What is the required pre-licensing education for a real estate salesperson in Virginia? Is it A, 30 hours, B, 45 hours, C, 60 hours, or D, 75 hours? The answer is C, 60 hours. Virginia requires 60 hours of pre-licensing education for a real estate salesperson license. This ensures that applicants have foundational knowledge of real estate principles and practices. How long is a real estate license valid in Virginia before it needs renewal? Is it A, 1 year, B, 3 years, C, 4 years, or D, 2 years? The answer is D, 2 years. A real estate license in Virginia is valid for 2 years. Licensees must renew their license biennially to continue practicing legally.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Continuing education requirements. What is the minimum number of continuing education hours required for a Virginia real estate salesperson to renew their license? Is it A, 8 hours, B, 12 hours, C, 16 hours, or D, 20 hours? The answer is C, 16 hours. Virginia real estate salespersons must complete 16 hours of continuing education every 2 years, covering various topics to maintain their licenses and stay updated on industry practices. Which of the following topics is required as part of the continuing education curriculum for Virginia real estate licensees? Is it A, ethics and standards of conduct, B, advanced property management, C, international real estate markets, or D, luxury real estate sales? The answer is A, ethics and standards of conduct. Ethics and standards of conduct is a mandatory topic in the continuing education curriculum to ensure real estate professionals adhere to ethical practices and maintain public trust. How often must Virginia real estate brokers complete their continuing education requirements? Is it A, annually, B, every 3 years, C, every 5 years, or D, every 2 years? The answer is D, every 2 years. Virginia real estate brokers must complete their continuing education requirements every 2 years, ensuring they remain informed about changes in laws and industry standards. Which of the following courses is not typically part of the continuing education requirements for Virginia real estate salespersons? Is it A, legal updates, B, international real estate markets, C, or D, ethics and standards of conduct? The answer is B, international real estate markets. While fair housing, legal updates, and agency law are crucial topics typically included in Virginia's continuing education curriculum, international real estate markets is not typically mandated. Virginia exam structure and content. What is the minimum passing score required on the Virginia Real Estate Salesperson exam? Is it A, 60% on both portions, B, 70% on the national portion and 75% on the state portion, C, 75% on both portions, or D, 80% on the state portion only? The answer is B, 70% on the national portion and 75% on the state portion. To pass the Virginia Real Estate Salesperson exam, candidates must score at least 70% on the national portion and 75% on the state portion. This ensures they have a sufficient understanding of both general and state-specific real estate laws. What is the focus of the Virginia Real Estate Salesperson exam's state-specific portion? Is it A, general real estate principles, B, Virginia real estate laws and regulations, C, federal real estate laws, or D, real estate ethics? The answer is B, Virginia real estate laws and regulations. The state-specific portion of the Virginia Real Estate Salesperson exam assesses knowledge of Virginia's real estate laws and regulations. It ensures candidates understand state-specific practices necessary for compliance and effective practice. How many questions are on the national portion of the Virginia Real Estate Salesperson exam? Is it A, 80 questions, B, 60 questions, C, 100 questions, or D, 50 questions? The answer is A, 80 questions. The national portion of the Virginia Real Estate Salesperson exam consists of 80 questions. These questions assess a candidate's understanding of general real estate principles. What is the time limit to complete the Virginia Real Estate Salesperson exam? Is it A, 120 minutes, B, 150 minutes, C, 180 minutes, or D, 90 minutes? The answer is B, 150 minutes. Candidates have 150 minutes to complete the entire Virginia Real Estate Salesperson exam, which includes both the national and state portions. This time allocation requires efficient time management skills. Now let's review Virginia property ownership and land use. Types of property ownership. What type of property ownership in Virginia allows owners to avoid probate by automatically transferring ownership to a designated individual upon death? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, joint tenancy, C, fee simple, or D, leasehold? The answer is B, joint tenancy. Joint tenancy with right of survivorship allows property to bypass probate. Upon an owner's death, ownership automatically transfers to the surviving joint tenant, providing a seamless transition. In Virginia, what type of property ownership allows for shared ownership with distinct, separate interests that can be sold or transferred without the consent of other owners? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, joint tenancy, C, entirety, or D, leasehold? The answer is A, tenancy in common. Tenancy in common allows owners to hold distinct shares of a property. Each owner can sell or transfer their interest independently without the need for consent from other co-owners. Which form of property ownership in Virginia allows for the greatest control over the use of the property, including the ability to sell, lease, or bequeath the property? Is it A, leasehold, B, life estate, C, fee simple absolute, or D, joint tenancy? The answer is C, fee simple absolute. Fee simple absolute is the most complete form of ownership. It grants the owner the maximum control over the property, including rights to sell, lease, or bequeath it. What type of property ownership in Virginia is often used in commercial properties where the tenant pays rent and covers some property expenses? Is it A, fee simple, B, joint tenancy, C, tenancy in common, or D, leasehold? The answer is D, leasehold. A leasehold estate is commonly used in commercial properties. It allows tenants to use the property for a specified period while paying rent and sometimes covering certain expenses. Public versus private land use controls. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in Virginia? Is it A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development? B, to increase property taxes? C, to determine property ownership rights? Or D, to control the color of buildings? The answer is A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development. Zoning laws in Virginia are designed to regulate land use to ensure orderly development and to separate incompatible land uses. They help maintain community standards and property values. Which of the following is a public land use control in Virginia? Is it A, homeowners association rules? B, deed restrictions? C, zoning ordinances? Or D, easements? The answer is C, zoning ordinances. Public land use controls include zoning ordinances, building codes, and environmental regulations, which are enforced by government entities to manage land development and use. What is an example of a private land use control? Is it A, building codes? B, deed restrictions? C, zoning laws? Or D, environmental regulations? The answer is B, deed restrictions. Private land use controls are restrictions imposed by private entities like developers or homeowners and include deed restrictions and covenants that dictate property use. How do zoning variances function within Virginia's land use controls? Is it A, they permit any land use regardless of zoning? B, they change zoning laws permanently? C, they allow exceptions to zoning laws under specific conditions? Or D, they remove all zoning regulations for a property? The answer is C, they allow exceptions to zoning laws under specific conditions. Zoning variances allow property owners to deviate from zoning regulations under specific circumstances, providing flexibility while maintaining the overall zoning plan's integrity.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Land use and zoning laws. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in Virginia? Is it A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development? B, to increase property taxes? C, to limit population growth? Or D, to promote tourism? The answer is A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development. Zoning laws in Virginia are designed to regulate land use, ensuring orderly development and preventing conflicts between incompatible land uses. They help maintain the character of communities and protect property values. Which type of zoning is designed to preserve the natural environment in Virginia? Is it A, residential zoning? B, conservation zoning? C, commercial zoning? Or D, industrial zoning? The answer is B, conservation zoning. Conservation zoning is used to protect natural areas and resources by limiting development and maintaining open spaces, crucial for preserving Virginia's environmental assets. What is a variance in the context of Virginia zoning laws? Is it A, a change in zoning classification? B, a temporary zoning ordinance? C, an exception to zoning requirements? Or D, a zoning enforcement action? The answer is C, an exception to zoning requirements. A variance is a legal exception that allows property owners to deviate from certain zoning requirements. It provides flexibility in land use while still maintaining the overall intent of the zoning laws. In Virginia, what is the role of a planning commission? Is it A, to enforce zoning laws? B, to collect property taxes? C, to issue building permits? Or D, to advise on land use and development? The answer is D, to advise on land use and development. Planning commissions in Virginia advise local governments on land use and development, helping to draft comprehensive plans and review zoning changes to guide orderly community growth. In Virginia, what is a conditional use permit? Is it A, a permit for temporary structures, B, a permit allowing non-standard use under specific conditions, C, a permit for historical preservation, or D, a permit for agricultural activities? The answer is B, a permit allowing non-standard use under specific conditions. A conditional use permit allows a property to be used in a way not typically permitted under current zoning regulations, provided certain conditions are met to mitigate impacts. Condominiums, HOAs, and common interest communities. In Virginia, what is the primary purpose of a homeowners association in a common interest community? Is it A, to sell properties within the community, B, to manage and maintain common areas and enforce community rules, C, to provide legal advice to homeowners, or D, to approve architectural changes to individual homes? The answer is B, to manage and maintain common areas and enforce community rules. An HOA manages and maintains common areas, enforces rules, and collects fees to ensure the community functions smoothly. It acts as a governing body for shared property interests. Which document typically outlines the rights and responsibilities of condominium owners in Virginia? Is it A, Declaration of Condominium, B, Articles of Incorporation, C, or D, Deed of Trust? The answer is A, Declaration of Condominium. The Declaration of Condominium is a legal document that establishes the existence of a condominium and details the rights and responsibilities of its owners. What is a common financial obligation of homeowners within a Virginia common interest community? Is it A, property taxes, B, mortgage payments, C, assessments or dues, or D, utility bills? The answer is C, assessments or dues. Homeowners in common interest communities are typically required to pay assessments or dues, which fund the maintenance and management of shared amenities and services. In Virginia, who is responsible for enforcing the rules and regulations of a condominium association? Is it A, property manager, B, board of directors, C, local government, or D, homeowners individually? The answer is B, board of directors. The board of directors of a condominium association is responsible for enforcing the community's rules and regulations, ensuring compliance among residents. Environmental issues and flood zones. Which agency is responsible for managing flood zones and providing flood maps in Virginia? Is it A, Virginia Department of Environmental Quality, B, Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation, C, Federal Emergency Management Agency, or D, U.S. Geological Survey? The answer is C, Federal Emergency Management Agency. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is responsible for managing flood zones and providing flood maps, which help property owners understand flood risks and insurance needs. What is the main purpose of a floodplain in Virginia property management? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to manage and mitigate flood risks, C, to enhance agricultural productivity, or D, to provide recreational areas? The answer is B, to manage and mitigate flood risks. Floodplains are areas near rivers and streams prone to flooding. They are critical for flood management, allowing excess water to spread and preventing damage to developed areas. What is a key consideration for property owners in Virginia's flood zones? Is it A, purchasing flood insurance, B, reducing property taxes, C, installing solar panels, or D, applying for conservation easements? The answer is A, purchasing flood insurance. Property owners in flood zones should consider purchasing flood insurance, as standard homeowner policies typically do not cover flood damage making it crucial for financial protection. How does Virginia's Chesapeake Bay Preservation Act impact land use? Is it A, by increasing agricultural subsidies, B, by promoting urban expansion, C, by reducing property taxes, or D, by regulating development to protect water quality? The answer is D, by regulating development to protect water quality. The Chesapeake Bay Preservation Act regulates land use to protect water quality by controlling development in designated areas, ensuring sustainable land use practices near water bodies. Let's continue with a review of Virginia agency law and ethics. We'll start with agency relationship laws. In Virginia, what is the primary duty of an agent to their principal under agency law? Is it A, B, disclosure, C, competence, or D, accounting? The answer is A. The primary duty of an agent to their principal is loyalty, meaning the agent must act in the best interest of the principal, avoiding conflicts of interest and maintaining confidentiality. Which of the following best describes a dual agency in Virginia real estate transactions? Is it A, an agent representing multiple buyers, B, an agent representing both buyer and seller, C, two agents from the same firm representing different parties, or D, an agent acting as a subagent? The answer is B, an agent representing both buyer and seller. Dual agency occurs when a single agent represents both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction, which requires full disclosure and consent from all parties involved. What must an agent do if they have a conflict of interest in a transaction under Virginia agency law? Is it A, ignore the conflict, B, resolve the conflict internally, C, disclose the conflict to the principal, or D, seek legal advice before proceeding? The answer is C, disclose the conflict to the principal. Agents must disclose any conflicts of interest to their principal as soon as possible to maintain transparency and trust, allowing the principal to make informed decisions. Under Virginia agency law, what is required for an agent to legally bind a principal to a contract? Is it A, implied authority, B, apparent authority, C, general authority, or D, express authority? The answer is D, express authority. For an agent to bind a principal to a contract, they must have express authority granted by the principal, ensuring that the agent's actions are legally supported.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Fiduciary duties and client representation. What is a fiduciary duty that a real estate agent owes to their client under Virginia agency law? Is it A, disclosure of all offers, B, providing legal advice, C, confidentiality, or D, marketing the property? The answer is C, confidentiality. Confidentiality is a key fiduciary duty requiring agents to protect their clients' private information even after the agency relationship ends. This duty ensures trust and integrity in client-agent relationships. In Virginia, which fiduciary duty requires an agent to act in the best interests of their client? Is it A, loyalty, B, obedience, C, accounting, or D, disclosure? The answer is A, loyalty. Loyalty is a fiduciary duty obligating agents to prioritize their clients' interests above their own. This duty is fundamental to maintaining trust and ethical standards in real estate transactions. Which action would violate the fiduciary duty of disclosure in Virginia agency law? Is it A, informing the client about market trends, B, failing to inform the client about a known property defect, C, discussing the benefits of a property, or D, providing a list of comparable sales? The answer is B, Failing to inform the client about a known property defect. Failing to inform a client about a known property defect breaches the duty of disclosure, which requires agents to inform clients of all material facts that could affect their decisions. How does the fiduciary duty of accounting protect clients in real estate transactions? Is it A, by ensuring all offers are presented, B, by keeping client information confidential, C, by negotiating the best price, or D, by accurately reporting financial transactions? The answer is D, by accurately reporting financial transactions. The duty of accounting requires agents to accurately report and manage all financial aspects of a transaction, ensuring transparency and preventing mismanagement of funds entrusted by clients. Virginia Ethics Guidelines and Enforcement. What is the primary purpose of the Virginia Real Estate Board's Code of Ethics? Is it A, to maximize profits for real estate agents, B, to promote professionalism and integrity in real estate practices, C, to regulate the pricing strategies of real estate transactions, or D, to establish a uniform commission rate for all agents? The answer is B, to promote professionalism and integrity in real estate practices. The Code of Ethics aims to uphold professionalism and integrity within the real estate industry, ensuring agents act in the best interest of clients and the public. Which of the following actions could lead to disciplinary action under Virginia Ethics Guidelines? Is it A, offering a competitive commission rate, B, providing accurate market analysis, C, misrepresenting property details to potential buyers, or D, networking with other real estate professionals? The answer is C, misrepresenting property details to potential buyers. Misrepresentation of property details is a serious violation, as it can mislead clients and harm trust in real estate transactions. Under Virginia Ethics Guidelines, what is required of agents when handling client funds? Is it A, client funds must be placed in an escrow account, B, client funds can be used for office expenses, C, client funds should be documented but can be kept with personal funds, or D, client funds can be invested for profit? The answer is A, client funds must be placed in an escrow account. Agents must handle client funds with care and place them in a separate escrow account to prevent commingling with personal funds. What is the role of the Virginia Real Estate Board in enforcing ethical standards? Is it A, setting commission rates for all transactions, B, providing legal representation to agents, C, offering marketing strategies to agents, or D, investigating complaints and imposing sanctions? The answer is D, investigating complaints and imposing sanctions. The board enforces ethical standards by investigating complaints, conducting hearings, and imposing sanctions to uphold integrity in the real estate profession.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at birdsy.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Now let's review Virginia property valuation. We'll start with basic principles of property valuation. In Virginia property valuation, which principle suggests that the value of a property is influenced by the cost of acquiring an equivalent substitute property? Is it A, principle of substitution, B, principle of conformity, C, principle of contribution, or D, principle of change? The answer is A, principle of substitution. The principle of substitution states that a property's value is set by the cost of acquiring a similar property with the same utility. It is fundamental in determining market value. Which principle of property valuation in Virginia states that the value of a property is maximized when it is in harmony with its surroundings? Is it A, principle of regression, B, principle of conformity, C, principle of anticipation, or D, principle of progression? The answer is B, principle of conformity. The principle of conformity suggests that a property reaches its highest value when it fits well with the surrounding properties, maintaining a consistent and harmonious environment. What principle in Virginia property valuation indicates that property value is determined by the future benefits expected from owning the property? Is it A, principle of balance, B, principle of substitution, C, principle of anticipation, or D, principle of contribution? The answer is C, principle of anticipation. The principle of anticipation holds that the present value of a property is based on the anticipated future benefits, such as income or appreciation, that the property will provide. Which principle suggests that the value of a property is affected by the addition or removal of a component, such as a garage or pool, in Virginia property valuation? Is it A, principle of change, B, principle of substitution, C, principle of conformity, or D, principle of contribution? The answer is D, principle of contribution. The principle of contribution states that the value of a property component is determined by how much it adds to or detracts from the overall value of the property. Sales comparison, cost, and income approaches. Which approach to property valuation is most appropriate for a new residential property in Virginia? Is it A, sales comparison approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, market approach? The answer is B, cost approach. The cost approach is often used for new properties because it calculates the cost to replace or reproduce the property, considering current construction costs and depreciation. What is a key factor in the sales comparison approach for property valuation in Virginia? Is it A, B, construction cost, C, rental income, or D, replacement cost? The answer is A, location. Location is crucial because it affects property value significantly. Comparable properties should be in similar locations to ensure accurate valuation. In the income approach, which method is typically used to value a multifamily rental property in Virginia? Is it A, sales comparison method, B, cost method, C, direct capitalization method, or D, gross rent multiplier? The answer is C, direct capitalization method. The direct capitalization method is commonly used for valuing multifamily rental properties by applying a capitalization rate to the net operating income. How does the cost approach account for depreciation in Virginia property valuation? Is it A, by ignoring it, B, by using market trends, C, by increasing land value, or D, by deducting it from replacement cost? The answer is D, by deducting it from replacement cost. Depreciation in the cost approach is considered through physical, functional, and economic obsolescence, which reduces the property's replacement or reproduction cost. Let's test your knowledge on Virginia financing. First, we'll look at mortgage loans and financing options. What is the primary role of a mortgage lender in Virginia? Is it A, provide funds for home loans and assess creditworthiness, B, appraise the property value and conduct home inspections, C, negotiate closing costs and title insurance, or D, set real estate market trends and interest rates? The answer is A, provide funds for home loans and assess creditworthiness. A mortgage lender provides the funds for a home loan, assesses the borrower's creditworthiness, and sets the terms for repayment. They play a crucial role in the financing process. Which of the following is a characteristic of a fixed-rate mortgage in Virginia? Is it A, interest rates adjust annually based on market conditions, B, requires a balloon payment at the end of the term, C. Interest rate remains the same throughout the loan term. Or D. Offers the lowest initial interest rate compared to other loans. The answer is C. Interest rate remains the same throughout the loan term. A fixed-rate mortgage has an unchanging interest rate throughout the loan term, providing stability in monthly payments. This is a common choice for borrowers seeking predictable expenses. In Virginia, what is a common benefit of selecting an FHA loan? Is it A. No down payment required, B. Lower down payment and flexible credit requirements, C. Exemption from mortgage insurance premiums, or D. Variable interest rates that adjust with inflation? The answer is B. Lower down payment and flexible credit requirements. FHA loans are popular due to their lower down payment requirements and more lenient credit score criteria, making them accessible to first-time homebuyers and those with limited credit history. What is a key feature of a VA loan available to eligible veterans in Virginia? Is it A. No down payment requirement, B. Mandatory private mortgage insurance, C. Higher interest rates compared to conventional loans, or D. Limited to first-time homebuyers only? The answer is A. No down payment requirement. VA loans offer the significant benefit of not requiring a down payment, making homeownership more accessible for veterans. They also have favorable terms and conditions.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Loan applications and approval processes. What is typically required during the initial loan application process for a property in Virginia? Is it A. A list of previous landlords, B. Proof of income, C. A copy of the property title, or D. A signed purchase agreement? The answer is B. Proof of income. In Virginia, the initial loan application process usually requires proof of income to assess the borrower's ability to repay the loan. This is a standard requirement across most mortgage applications. How does the Virginia law impact the loan approval timeline? Is it A. It accelerates the process by waiving disclosures, B. It has no impact on the timeline, C. It ensures certain disclosures are made timely, or D. It requires lenders to approve loans within 30 days? The answer is C. It ensures certain disclosures are made timely. Virginia law mandates certain disclosures and timelines which can affect the loan approval process, ensuring transparency and consumer protection throughout the transaction. Which of the following is a common reason for loan denial in Virginia? Is it A. Poor credit history, B. Excessive property taxes, C. Inaccurate property appraisals, or D. Lack of property insurance? The answer is A. Poor credit history. Poor credit history is a frequent reason for loan denial in Virginia, as lenders consider it a significant risk factor in the borrower's ability to repay the loan. What role does a credit score play in the loan approval process in Virginia? Is it A. It is the sole factor in approval, B. It determines the loan amount, C. It has no impact on approval, or D. It influences the interest rate offered? The answer is D. It influences the interest rate offered. A credit score is crucial in the loan approval process as it helps lenders assess the risk of lending to a borrower, influencing the terms and interest rates offered. Virginia mortgage disclosure requirements. Which document must be provided to borrowers under Virginia law to disclose the terms of a mortgage loan? Is it A. Loan estimate, B. Closing disclosure, C. Annual percentage rate disclosure, or D. Mortgage servicing disclosure? The answer is A. Loan estimate. The loan estimate is required under federal law and provides borrowers with detailed information about the loan terms, helping them understand the costs and features of the mortgage. What is the primary purpose of the closing disclosure in Virginia mortgage transactions? Is it A, to initiate the loan application process? B, to inform about servicing rights? C, to estimate loan costs? Or D, to provide final loan terms and costs? The answer is D, to provide final loan terms and costs. The closing disclosure provides a final detailed account of the loan terms and costs, ensuring transparency and allowing borrowers to compare it with the loan estimate. Under Virginia law, when must the loan estimate be provided to the borrower? Is it A, within 1 business day of application? B, within 3 business days of application? C, at the time of closing? Or D, after the loan is approved? The answer is B, within 3 business days of application. The loan estimate must be delivered or placed in the mail no later than 3 business days after the lender receives the borrower's loan application. What information is not typically included in the loan estimate under Virginia mortgage disclosure requirements? Is it A, loan terms, B, projected payments, C, borrower's credit score, or D, closing costs? The answer is C, borrower's credit score. The loan estimate includes loan terms, projected payments, and closing costs, but not details about the borrower's credit score, which is covered by other disclosures. Virginia loan programs. Which of the following is a characteristic of the Virginia Housing Development Authority loan programs? Is it A, they offer lower down payments and fixed interest rates? B, they are only available for commercial properties? C, they require a minimum credit score of 800? Or D, they are exclusive to veterans? The answer is A, they offer lower down payments and fixed interest rates. VHDA offers affordable mortgage options with lower down payments and fixed interest rates to assist first-time homebuyers in Virginia. These programs are tailored to help residents secure home ownership. What is a primary benefit of the Virginia Down Payment Assistance Program? Is it A, it guarantees a lower interest rate? B, it helps cover down payment and closing costs? C, it offers tax deductions for the first year? Or D, it eliminates the need for private mortgage insurance? The answer is B, it helps cover down payment and closing costs. The Virginia DPA program provides financial assistance to help cover the down payment and closing costs, reducing the initial financial burden for eligible homebuyers. How does the Virginia First-Time Homebuyer Savings Plan benefit participants? Is it A, it provides a direct government grant? B, it guarantees loan approval? C, it offers tax-free savings for home purchase? Or D, it reduces the interest rate on mortgages? The answer is C, it offers tax-free savings for home purchase. This plan allows participants to save money tax-free for the purchase of their first home, offering significant savings on state taxes and encouraging home ownership. What distinguishes the Virginia Energy Efficient Mortgage Program? Is it A, it is exclusively for new construction homes? B, it requires a minimum home value of $500,000? C, it only applies to solar panel installations? Or D, it includes financing for energy-efficient upgrades? The answer is D, it includes financing for energy-efficient upgrades. This program allows homebuyers to finance energy-efficient upgrades as part of their mortgage, promoting sustainable living and potentially reducing future energy costs. Virginia Housing Finance Agency. What is the primary goal of the Virginia Housing Finance Agency? Is it A, to regulate housing prices in Virginia? B, to provide affordable housing opportunities to Virginians? C, to finance commercial real estate developments? Or D, to manage public housing projects? The answer is B, to provide affordable housing opportunities to Virginians. The VHDA aims to provide affordable housing opportunities to Virginians, focusing on low and moderate income individuals. It achieves this through various programs and initiatives that facilitate homeownership and rental housing. Which of the following is a key feature of VHDA's first-time homebuyer programs? Is it A, down payment assistance, B, mandatory property inspections, C, fixed interest rates only, or D, zero closing costs? The answer is A, down payment assistance. VHDA's first-time homebuyer programs often include down payment assistance, making it easier for new buyers to afford a home. This assistance can significantly reduce the initial financial burden of purchasing a home. How does VHDA support rental housing development in Virginia? Is it A, by providing direct subsidies to landlords, B, by enforcing rent control laws, C, by offering financing options and tax credits, or D, by managing tenant-landlord disputes? The answer is C, by offering financing options and tax credits. VHDA supports rental housing development through financing options and tax credits, encouraging the construction and maintenance of affordable rental units for low-income families. What type of mortgage products does VHDA offer to assist homebuyers? Is it A, only adjustable rate mortgages, B, only interest-only loans, C, only jumbo loans, or D, conventional and VA loans? The answer is D, conventional FHA and VA loans. VHDA offers a variety of mortgage products, including conventional, FHA, and VA loans, tailored to meet the needs of different homebuyers, especially those with low to moderate incomes. Last but not least, let's review Virginia disclosure requirements and forms. Virginia disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Act? Is it A, to regulate property taxes, B, to inform buyers of potential property defects, C, to set property prices, or D, to protect sellers from legal disputes? The answer is B, to inform buyers of potential property defects. The Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Act requires sellers to provide a disclosure statement to buyers outlining any defects or issues with the property, ensuring informed decisions. Which of the following is not required in a Virginia property disclosure statement? Is it A, presence of lead-based paint, B, condition of structural components, C, seller's personal financial history, or D, zoning compliance? The answer is C, seller's personal financial history. Virginia property disclosure statements must include information on defects, but not the seller's personal financial history, which is irrelevant to property condition. When must the Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Statement be provided to a prospective buyer? Is it A, before signing a purchase agreement, B, after the closing date, C, during the home inspection, or D, at the open house? The answer is A, before signing a purchase agreement. The disclosure statement must be provided before the buyer signs a purchase agreement, ensuring they have all necessary information to make an informed decision. Which type of property transaction is exempt from the Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Act? Is it A, sale of a new construction home, B, sale by owner, C, short sale, or D, transfer by court order? The answer is D, transfer by court order. Transfers by court order, such as foreclosures or estate settlements, are exempt as the seller may not have full knowledge of the property's condition. Commonly used Virginia forms. Which form is used in Virginia to disclose the condition of a property to potential buyers? Is it A, lead-based paint disclosure, B, residential property disclosure statement. C. Seller's disclosure of real property condition. Or D. Property transfer disclosure form. The answer is B. Residential property disclosure statement. The residential property disclosure statement is required by Virginia law to inform buyers about the condition of the property, ensuring transparency and informed decision-making. What is the purpose of the Virginia Condominium Resale Certificate? Is it A. to disclose lead-based paint hazards, B. to outline the terms of a mortgage, C. to provide a detailed property inspection report, or D. to inform buyers about the condominium association? The answer is D. to inform buyers about the condominium association. The Virginia Condominium Resale Certificate provides buyers with essential information about the condominium association, including financial status and rules, ensuring they are fully informed before purchase. In Virginia, what must sellers disclose regarding the presence of any historic district designation? Is it A. if the property is located in a historic district, B. the age of the property, C. the property's current market value, or D. any past renovations done to the property? The answer is A. if the property is located in a historic district. Sellers must disclose if the property is in a historic district, as this can affect renovations and property value, ensuring buyers are aware of potential restrictions. Which Virginia form is specifically used to address potential lead hazards in homes built before 1978? Is it A. Residential Property Disclosure Statement, B. Virginia Condominium Resale Certificate, C. Lead-based paint disclosure, or D. Seller's disclosure of real property condition? The answer is C. Lead-based paint disclosure. The lead-based paint disclosure form is required for properties built before 1978 to inform buyers about potential lead hazards, ensuring compliance with federal regulations. Specific procedures for transactions. What is the primary purpose of the Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Act? Is it A. to protect sellers from liability, B. to ensure buyers are informed about property conditions, C. to regulate the real estate market prices, or D. to mandate property inspections before sale? The answer is B. to ensure buyers are informed about property conditions. The Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Act requires sellers to inform buyers about the condition of the property, ensuring transparency and informed decision-making in real estate transactions. Which form must a seller provide to a buyer under the Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Act? Is it A. Residential Property Disclosure Statement, B. Lead-based paint disclosure form, C. Homeowners Association disclosure packet, or D. Environmental hazards report? The answer is A. Residential Property Disclosure Statement. Sellers must provide the Residential Property Disclosure Statement, which outlines known defects and issues, ensuring buyers are aware of potential property problems. When is the Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Statement typically provided? Is it A. after the closing of the sale, B. during the home inspection, C. before the purchase contract is signed, or D. after the buyer moves in? The answer is C. before the purchase contract is signed. The disclosure statement should be provided to the buyer before the purchase contract is signed, allowing them to make an informed decision about the property. What is the consequence if a seller fails to provide the Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Statement? Is it A. the sale is automatically voided, B. the seller faces criminal charges, C. the buyer receives a discount on the property, or D. the buyer may terminate the contract? The answer is D. The buyer may terminate the contract. If a seller fails to provide the disclosure statement, the buyer may have the right to terminate the contract protecting them from undisclosed property issues.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit Birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.